Hello and welcome to my review of the Sisters of Battle Sisters squad. One of these box sets will cost you £35. It includes 11 miniatures if you choose to make the Incensor cherub. If you're looking for a Celestian review or a Dominion squad review, they are coming soon to the channel. If you're looking for box sets for those, you won't find any, because this is the box set you need to buy in order to make Celestians and Dominions. You can make 10 Celestians, you can make 10 Dominions, or you can make 5 of each, or you can make 10 Battle Sisters, or 5 Battle Sisters, and 5... You get where I'm going with this. Apologies for the lateness of this video. I was planning on releasing this much earlier than May, as this was one of the first releases for this new army. So thank you for all of your patience. With the release schedule, it kind of has just worked out that I've released a new Sisters of Battle review every Warhammer Wednesday. This Wednesday being no different. I'm going to try and get the Celestians and the Dominions reviewed for you before next week's Wednesday, and give you a full army overview video next week. You'll see all the miniatures that I've built for this army. And a few of those units I will probably get some more of. Penitent Engines being one, Hospitaller being another, maybe another Sister Superior, definitely another Rhino. But anyway, let's get on with this review. I'll be looking at each of these models individually, showing you the spare parts, going through some size comparisons, and then going through all of the rules. First things first, I will say that this box of, I say 10 Sisters, if you want to call it 10, costs the same as the Chaos Space Marine box set. And similar to that set, you can mix and match some of the poses. I would say that this has much more flexibility than that set, although I do really like that Chaos Space Marine set. Detail wise though, they're both very, very similar. You're going to have more issues with mould lines and fiddly parts and bolt gun holes and things with this kit though. So let's start off with the Sister Superior. Right here I've given her a power sword. Hopefully you can see these up close. There we go. And a combi plasma. I didn't want to leave her out with just having a plasma pistol or a bolt pistol. I gave her a helmet, a special helmet. She's got this nice sheath which is optional. You can give her a chainsword. You can have a combi melter or flamer. Or a bolt gun, or a bolt pistol, or plasma pistol, and so on and so on. I don't think you can give her a hand flamer or an inferno pistol, I don't think. But yeah, lovely miniature. I really like that she's gesturing forward. And I actually prefer her pose to the previous Sister Superior that you got in the army set. Okay, so that's the Sister Superior. Then I've got the one with the Simulacrum Imperialis. Yeah, I kind of made this before I looked at the one that came in the battle set, and they are similar Simulacrum Imperialis. If I was going to get a second box, which I probably will do, I'll definitely use the box with the chest in. Both these models are cool. I would probably say I prefer the sister on the right with the bolt pistol. And yeah, this is the box I'm talking about, this one. I'll probably use that one in another set. The special weapons soldier, here she is with the flamer. I've gone for a flamer. You can go for a storm bolter or a melter gun as your special weapon. Speaking of which, here's the heavy weapons soldier. Here she is with the heavy flamer. A bit tricky to glue all that together with the arm and things. I've gone for a helmetless option with the rebreather mask. Yeah, quite tricky heavy weapon to put together. That gave me flashbacks of the Retributor squad. This is perhaps one of the coolest sisters of them all. She's just chewing an apple. No, she's not. She's biting a pin. She's pulling a pin out of a grenade with her teeth. Amazing. You can also have her with the arm sort of outstretched holding that live grenade. Such a cool model, lovely pose. Speaking of lovely poses, I really like the sisters that have these open helmets. That's really cool. with this kind of stalker pattern with an extended mag. Bolt gun there, lovely pose. I've given this sister the dove from above. Dove's just sort of in a race with her, so you can get to the enemy first, I guess. And then you've got a few others like this standing, bracing, firing pose, and then you've got two that are running. One's running and shooting, and the other one is just running with the bolt gun down. Fair bit of detail on these models, and then the final, like 11th model, is the Incenser Cherub. Completely optional. You don't need to put together this bad boy, but I did, just to give you the full look at the Battle Sister squad. So yeah, fantastic set. It is quite pricey at 35, of course. By all means, I'd love it to be 25, but there's no chance Games Workshop would have released this for 25, considering that a normal Space Marine tactical set, when they when they refreshed that line, was 7 years ago. I can't believe it's been 7 years since I got back into this hobby and got the new models like the Tactical Squad and the Devastator Squad and the Centurions and things like that. But yeah, that box set is £27.50, which is £7.50 less. And do I think this set is worth the extra £7.50? Yeah, definitely. Let's just talk about the instruction guide before we look at the spare parts. The instruction guide, it is alright if you want to just make Battle Sisters. It gives you plenty of options there for the Sister Superior. And the Simulacrum. Unfortunately, some of the cooler models you can't make if you want their counterparts, if that makes sense. So the Simulacrum sister has these awesome looking Simulacrum Imperialises, but then you can't make the awesome one holding a helmet. That sucks. Then this one, if you want the sister pulling a pin off the grenade, you can't have the heavy bolter sister. Again, that sucks. If you want the cool sister posing, well, you're not going to be able to have the flamer. So yeah, I do question some of the choices in here with the cooler models. I guess this is just the way it's turned out, but I would have much rather been able to have the heavy flamer or heavy bolter sister instead of the boring sort of standing proud firing a bolt gun or this running one. You know, would have much rather they replace those instead of replacing cool models with cool models. And then it gives you a rundown of the way that they've put their models together, quite similar to the way I've put mine actually. But then that's it. So the only kind of Celestian and Dominion kind of queue you get is literally just for the helmets. Right here, all it says is Celestian. So if you want to make Celestians and Dominions, you're going to have to get the codex, look into the codex, see which kind of squad you want, which layout you want, and be quite intelligent in terms of what kind of makeup you want that squad to be, and whether you want the flamers in it, whether you want the melter guns. And then to just add insult to injury, you won't find any Dominion or Celestian rules in this book either. You only get the Battle Sisters squad. This is supposed to be the be-all, be-end-all forefront box that everybody will buy and everybody will buy multiple of. This is the box to get with the Canon S, and really it's lackluster in terms of that. There should have been a section for Celestians to give you some ideas, there should have been a selection for Dominions, and there should have been those two units rules in here as well. Then it would be a completely fleshed out box set, not only for the Battle Sisters squad but for those two other units as well. Then I'd be very happy. But alas, it focuses mainly on the Battle Sisters squad, so you have been informed. Okay, on to the spare parts then, which are just here. Here we go. So you've got the other Simulacrum Imperialis, which is this little sort of cage thing. Looks quite cool actually. And then you've got, I think, two parts of the box. Yeah, this part and this part. They just sort of go together like so, I think, and then they just slot in there, if you can see that. Right, yeah, sort of like that, sort of. Anyway, so that's the other Simulacrum Imperialis, and you get a different staff to hold it up, a reinforced one, clearly. Then you get one heavy bolter. So if you've got any heavy bolters left, or multi-melters or heavy flamers from the Retributor box set, which you probably will, you can just pick those and put them on these. They will all be compatible, which is great news. Speaking of great news, I've just spotted 4 melter guns. So yeah, my Celestian squad are going to be very happy with them. So I've got 4. So you can make, you know, 4. I think you can have 4 with melter guns. I'll get back to you on that one. It might be the Dominions you can have that. And then I've spotted 4 Storm Bolters. So again, that's going to be great for Celestians or your Dominions. So 4 special weapons each. And then the final icing on the cake is I have 3 remaining flamers. So I used 1. So again, this set includes 4 flamers. I've got a number of other bits and bobs here, such as you know, a sheathed power sword, which is quite nice. Parts for the combi weapon, so you can have the combi flamer and the combi melter. I chose the combi plasma. I've got a couple of power. I've got the power plant for the heavy bolter. I've got a normal power plant that I didn't use. I've got a underslung bolt gun, which is quite nice, and 2 more spare bolt guns, along with the plasma pistol, the condemner bolt gun, which is really fancy looking, a sheath for the chainsword, which you don't see every day, and then I've got the chainsword itself, which was the other option for the Sister Superior, the bolt pistol for the Sister Superior, the second halves of the barrels for the Storm Bolters, and a huge number of heads remaining. If you use up all of those 10 heads, you will be still left with 21 spare heads, which is excellent if you also collect a Khorne army. Make a throne of Adeptus Sororitas heads if you wish. You also get a couple that have the... We also get 2, unfortunately only 2, that have the visors up. At least I think it's only 2, which sucks in a way. One of them is the Celestian one because you've got the Fleur de Lis icon there. But there we go, 21 heads. 4 of each of the 3 special weapons, the heavy bolter, the heavy flamer, the combi weapon choices for the Sister Superior, and the different pistols and the chainsword and the power sword. Different Simulacrum Imperialis. So although this box set is pricey, you do get a lot of options and a lot of spare parts for your money. Okay, at the start of the video I did draw a few comparisons with the Simulacrum Imperialis and the Sister Superior from the Battle Army set. I'll draw some more comparisons with the other sort of standard Sisters of Battle. With the army set, you do get this unique Sisters of Battle with a Storm Bolter. You can sort of make one of those poses with this set with this Sister of Battle. Give her a Storm Bolter and give her a helmet with the visor up. You've got to remember that in the army set, you do get 3 sets of twins. So these 2 are in exactly the same pose with the same rock outcrop. These 2 are running in exactly the same position, and so are these 2. So as much as I like these 4 individual Sisters of Battle in the army set for the Battle Sister squad, I'd much rather have 10 unique ones. They're all individual, and I'd much rather have that in a multi-part kit than you know, 3 that are, you know, a set of twins. I will give a shout out to the special weapon sister from the armor box set. Absolutely amazing. Just burnt a heretic or an enemy of mankind. She is one of the coolest models. I think her and the sister pulling the pin out of the grenade are 2 of the coolest looking models in my humble opinion. Okay, on to the size comparisons. Finally, I hear you say. So we've got a Arcoflagellants there. Arcoflagellants are, yeah, similar sort of height. They're probably a little bit smaller because they're not in power armor. You've got a Retributor on the same size base. Here's the, I specifically picked out the heavy flamer one. The one walking about is a bit taller because clearly the pose, she's walking, whereas the other one is bracing. I've got a Sister Repentia. They all look taller, but that's because of the poses and the massive chainsaws that they wield. I've got the Canoness. Nice little sisterly love here in terms of they're both, you know, combining forces, touching tips. Yeah, you heard me say that right. And they've both got their power swords and their plasma weaponry, and they're ready to slay the enemies of mankind. And then a couple more size comparisons with a Saint Celestine herself. She always gets a good little look in. She was one of the first Plastic Sisters models to be released. And I want to show you a Penitent engine as well. So Penitent engine will stand head and shoulders above all of your Battle Sisters, and just to give you an idea, it's taller than a Dreadnought at the end of the day, and it's kind of their version of a Dreadnought. The final two size comparisons, which I always like to draw upon, are just of Space Marines. I find this one really interesting because I've got one of the most recently made plastic Space Marines here, from the Heroes collection. The Sister is almost the same height, clearly not the bulk, but very similar in height compared to the Space Marine. Just like half a foot shorter, I want to say. It's probably a better angle. Yeah, very similar in height. And then a Primaris, whoops. Yeah, fair bit bigger. And this is kind of what I would expect a normal Space Marine and a Sisters of Battle size difference to be. So I hope all those size comparisons have helped. Okay, so this is my part of the review where I will go through all of the rules for the Battle Sisters squad. You'll find them in your brand new Sisters of Battle Codex. Oh, it's been such a long time since we got a new codex. Well, since we got anything new from Games Workshop. What's it been, 2 months now? Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Elves and the hopefully Mechanicus Codex. That would be great, wouldn't it? Okay, this is the one and only troop choice for the Sisters of Battle. They don't get an extra little scout squad, which would be quite cool. They don't get any neophytes or anything like that, a cheaper version. This is your bread and butter of your Sisters of Battle army. They are a power points cost of a 4 and a points cost of 9 points per model. Their stat line reads movement of 6 inches, weapon skill is 4+, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness are both 3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7 and a save of 3+. Sister Superior has the same stat line except she gets 2 attacks and has a better leadership at a leadership of 8. Now the saving grace in all this is their ballistic skill is 3+ and their save is 3+. They're the two numbers that most make the difference for Sisters of Battle. They don't have the world's best weapon skill and they are quite weak and squishy at strength and toughness 3. They don't have many attacks, but it's their ballistic skill and their save that is great to focus on. Now the other weaknesses in their character profile can be enhanced with buffing units and your miracle dice, of course, never forget that. The unit contains 1 Sister Superior and 4 Battle Sisters, so it starts off with 5. It can additionally contain up to 5 Battle Sisters or up to 10 Battle Sisters. Every model is equipped with bolt pistol, bolt gun, frag grenades and crack grenades. So that's a key feature there, that Space Marines you can have 10, Primaris you can have 10, Plague Marines I think you can have 20, these you can have 15. So you can get a nice big squad of 15 of them. Bolt pistols, bolt guns, frag grenades and crack grenades, they all do the same as everybody else's in the game. Their options: 1 Battle Sister can be equipped with 1 weapon from the special weapons list instead of 1 bolt gun. So that includes a flamer, a melter gun or storm bolter. Mine's equipped with a flamer. 1 Battle Sister can be equipped with 1 of the following instead of 1 bolt gun. 1 weapon from the heavy weapons list, 1 weapon from the special weapons list. So there you go, you can either have 2 special weapons or 1 special weapon and a heavy weapon. And the heavy weapons include a heavy bolter, heavy flamer or multi-melter. 1 Battle Sister equipped with 1 bolt gun can have a Simulacrum Imperialis. The Sister Superior can additionally be equipped with 1 weapon from the melee weapons list or can be equipped with 1 weapon from the melee weapons list instead of 1 bolt gun. Mine's equipped with the power sword and the combi plasma. The Sister Superior can be equipped with 1 weapon from the ranged weapons list instead of 1 bolt gun. That includes all the combi weapons, a Condemner bolt gun, a normal bolt gun and bolt pistol. And the Sister Superior can be equipped with 1 weapon from the pistols list instead of 1 bolt pistol. That includes a hand flamer, inferno pistol and plasma pistol, although the box doesn't include the inferno pistol or hand flamer, I might add. You can get them from other boxes though. And finally, the unit can have an Incenser Cherub. More on him, in a moment. Abilities, they have Acts of Faith, Sacred Rites and Shield of Faith. So they're getting that invulnerable 6+ save. So 3+ normal, 6+ invulnerable. It's nice, even though it is a 6+, it's nice that most of the Sisters of Battle get an invulnerable save. Another ability, the Simulacrum Imperialis. If a model in this unit has a Simulacrum Imperialis, then once per phase, you can perform 1 act of faith for this unit. Even if you have already performed one or more act of faith in that phase. That's good, you can perform that act of faith. And remember, that is Vengeance, Sacrifice, Purity or Valor. The Incenser Cherub. If this unit has an Incenser Cherub, then once per battle at the beginning of a phase, that Incenser Cherub can intercede. If it does, that Incenser Cherub is removed from play and you gain 1 miracle dice. Brilliant. Roll 2d6 when you do so and select which one to keep. The miracle dice you gain can only be used to perform an act of faith for this unit and only in that phase. At the end of the phase, if the dice has not been used, it is lost. Brilliant. So you use the Incenser Cherub to get your miracle dice, and then you use the Simulacrum Imperialis to perform that act of faith. An Incenser Cherub is represented by an Incenser Cherub model, but does not count as a model for any rules purposes. Whilst the unit with an Incenser Cherub is on the battlefield, that Incenser Cherub must be within 2 inches of it, so it can't go flying about willy-nilly. Keywords: Imperium, Adeptus Ministorum, Adeptus Sororitas, Infantry and Battle Sisters Squad. So there you go, that is the Battle Sisters Squad. It's a lovely kit, although a bit pricey. You're probably only going to get 2, maybe 3 boxes of these at most for your whole army. Otherwise, you're going to start getting many that look the same. It is technically possible to make a Canoness out of this box set, so you know, you can save your money that way. Although personally, I think that Canoness is reasonably priced, is a decent model, and has a plethora of options included. I can't recommend that kit enough. Do I recommend this as much as the Canoness? I do, but I feel like it falls down on a few points, specifically with more options, instructions for Celestians and Dominions, and including their rules. However, there's a lot of flexibility in this kit. You can mix and match weapons from other kits, such as the Retributors, and possibly even some of the Seraphim, if you want to go down that route. I think it's a decent kit. It gives you lots of options to build one of a possible 3 different types of units in the army. It's what we were all expecting, and it's certainly what I was expecting, and it fulfilled my expectations. In a way though, I was kind of expecting all of the Sisters of Battle miniatures to look like Amalia Novena. And they ended up looking like this. So Games Workshop, you raise a high bar when you bring out a Sisters of Battle model that looks like Amalia Novena. But anyway, still a good set nonetheless, and a great bedrock to build your Sisters of Battle force up from. People typically ask me what units and models should I buy first if I'm starting this army, if I'm starting that army, which follows on after the question of which army should I get. In terms of this army, I'd strongly suggest you get a Canoness and this box set. Have a go at building them all together and paint them all. And if you like them and you have a couple of friendly little games with the 2 Battle Sisters squads and the HQ, and you like the way they play, then start buying more and building your force up. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Also, it'd be great to hear your thoughts and opinions on the Battle Sisters squad box set. Put them all down below as usual. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.